What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sports Geek. Man, I just couldn't stay away. Could I? Could I? Nah. What's going on? I'm your host, Errol, with Sports Geek. So listen, where do I start, right? Yankees lose to the Marlins last night, 13-12. Now, in a way, I look at this as a good thing and a bad thing. What do I mean by that? Good because I believe the Marlins had some crazy record where they haven't had allowed 19 innings of no-run baseball. Well, shit, they had to work for it last night. So that's positive. On the other hand, the Yankees' new relievers basically shit the bed. No questions, if, and, or buts. It didn't quite work out. Now, do I blame this on them? Yeah. Do I blame this on Boone? Yeah. Let me explain why. Okay? Yeah. In other news, before I even get to that, let's talk about Marcus Stroman. So as you can see the title, The Curse of the Stromino. So for all those of you remember when Babe Ruth was traded from the Red Sox to the Yankees, there was like this strange curse where they vowed never to, like, the Red Sox never win a world championship ever, and what they called the curse of the Bambino. Well, I didn't know that Stroman had, kind of witchering powers or wizarding powers of some sort. So is this a curse by Marcus Stroman for him being released by the New York Yankees? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe. Could it be? But him being released, what can I say? They have to make room for Luis Heel that's coming back. I believe he makes a start this Sunday against the Marlins. So there really was no room for Marcus Stroman. He did the best that he could. We picked him up 2 years ago, in an offseason where the Yankees were trying to get Yamamoto. That didn't quite work out. Then had to pivot to some other pitching that wasn't available. Obviously, Blake Snell signed early, so that was off the board. But they went with Marcus Stroman, and for the first half of last year, he did pretty well. Been downhill from there, been injured a couple times, not a really big guy. Got some great gumption about him, very poised on the mound. Just can't put hitters away anymore. His stuff's been diminishing year over year. You can see that in the StatCast and stat references, baseball reference. You can check that out and see. But for the most part, he's just not what he used to be. Not that he threw hard to begin with, but he has to nibble at corners. If that nibbling isn't there or players are laying off those pitches, you're going to walk a lot of people, get yourself in trouble. Anyway, so Marcus, thank you for your time. We appreciate you being a Yankee. Didn't quite work out, but do wish you all the best in the future. Now, on to the shit show that we saw last night. Does any one of you remember there was a baseball routine between Bud Abbott and Lou Costello called Who's On First? Okay? I'm pretty old, so I'm going to reference that because that's what I can remember. Bud was always trying to find out from Lou, the gimmick was who's on first, what's on second. The guy's name was Who. But when they kept saying who's on first, and the other guy, and Lou would say, that's what I'm telling you, who's on first? He goes, I don't know, I'm asking you. That was a shit show that I witnessed last night with the New York Yankees losing to the Marlins. Why? Not because the Marlins are a so-called bad team, which I can say that they are because their record doesn't justify their wins, but you play enough shitty teams in the league and you can stack up a good record or not allow a so-called 0 runs in 19 innings. However, the Yankees come to town, and where I blame Boone on this, and he did this when they acquired a pitcher. Was it last year when they were playing the Milwaukee Brewers? The guy just flew in. They got traded. Just flew in, and Boone sticks him in against the Brewers, and they lost that game. Why? The fucker probably had jet lag. I'm sure some dude that they traded from San Francisco, Camilo Duvall, I'm sure he's got jet lag. Bednar's in Pittsburgh. We can't really blame that. And the other guy from Colorado. I mean, seriously, you're going to use your 3 new guys right off the bat without either any Matt Blake assimilation, any getting to know your catchers. You're just going to throw them the fuck out there? That I blame on Boone. I do. I hear a lot of content critics saying, oh, you can't blame him. Yeah, I can blame Boone. That was some bull. He did the same bullshit a year ago with another pitcher. I forget his name. I'm sorry. Against the Brewers. So that's pure bullshit right there. Putting those guys in that spot like that. Where was Weaver? Not to mention, didn't Boone say that, oh, yeah, I'm still going to use Devin Williams as a closer? So why didn't Devin Williams fucking close? Oh, I'm sorry. They used him the day before. Great. Okay. So Weaver wasn't available? Go to Johnny Loizaga? Really? That's an option? Not that he performed that bad, but that's a risky bullshit move out there. Not to mention, you picked up an outfielder named Slater. What the fuck is Caballero playing outfield. I know he can, but Jesus Christ, what's Slater for? I mean, hindsight's 2020, but you can give Boone the best players in the world, and somehow when they come to the Yankees, they turn to shit. I'm just stating facts, man. This guy cannot manage. I'm not saying you got to fire him. Maybe you do. Maybe needs to be a bench coach and get somebody else, because obviously, unless he's following some blueprint, the Yankees said you have to use these guys today, and we expect this guy today. I found out through another content creator, which I did not know, that Bednar has an 8 ERA or some shit like that, and the Marlins Stadium. So if that is fact, which I haven't looked into it, so I apologize. If that is fact, or 7 ERA, whatever the fuck it is, Boone must know this. The analytics department must know this. So why the fuck would you put him in there? He's great everywhere else but here. So why would you put him in there? Are you kidding me? This is on Boone. You're not reading your reports, or they didn't give them to you, or our analytics department sucks to not providing the information. Which one is it? Which one is it? I'm not going to take away. To me, they had a great trade deadline. The best one I've seen in years for a very long time. Whether I gave them an A minus A. I forget what I said in my last show. Wasn't an A+ because they didn't get a starter. But with Louis Hill coming back, okay, or maybe they got a starter coming back. So who needs one? But that was what prevented me from giving them an A+. I still think the guys they picked up are good, but using them in that situation to me makes no sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. And I'm not a manager. I don't claim to be one, but Jesus Christ, use your common sense. Use your common sense when you're using these guys. They just got here. They have to get assimilated, kind of like the Borg. He just puts people in these situations. Okay, Caballero pinch runs, steals a bag, I think Volpe gets a base hit and he scores. Awesome. Take him out, or transfer him to the infield, take Volpe out, and put Slater in right. What do you have these guys for on the bench that wasn't there before? I don't understand any of this shit. But we continue to give them excuses. Let me digress. Let's go way back. Let's go before this trade deadline. I got a bone to pick with Cashman. Yes, he came through at the trade deadline this year. But let's start in the offseason. Andrew Freeman from the Los Angeles Dodgers was quoted by saying, I like to try and build my roster in the offseason because when it comes to the trade deadline, it becomes very expensive. So I try to do all I can do, the best I can, because it becomes expensive. And he's not wrong. Too many teams are in it at the trade deadline. MLB needs to either extend the trade deadline to August when more teams are out, because the prices that people pay for some of these players that are on rentals or whatever is ridiculous. You give up your entire farm and your future for what? Bullshit? Don't understand that whatsoever. But let's just go on. I agree that with Andrew Freeman of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Why doesn't Cashman do the same thing? He knew he had a flawed third base situation in the offseason. He knew of all the flaws he had with the bullpen. But still, nothing ever comes to fruition until the trade deadline. Why do you wait? Because of the arrogance of the New York Yankees. The arrogance of knowing it all, right? If he had built the roster accordingly during the offseason, guess what? The bullpen wouldn't be as taxed because Boone can't manage him to save his life. If the bullpen in the offseason acquired them, I guarantee the Yankees would have at least 2, 3, maybe 5 more wins, maybe, across the board. But no, we always wait till the last minute, and now you get what you get. Now, I don't think these guys he picked up are bad. I think there's going to be a bounce back, right? I think there's going to be a bounce back with that. But, listen, right now, who knows what to say with them? Who knows? They still have to prove it. These guys are professional baseball players. They should know what to do. They should know how to act. They should know how to perform. And for some reason, when they get to the Yankees, they forget themselves. Totally crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. So, wasn't going to come on here and bash them anymore. I was shocked that they were leading 6-0. No, I was shocked that wasn't shocked they were leading 6-0. They were winning 6-0. Then it became 9-4. Then it became 12-10. And before I knew it, between me getting some fruit in the close to midnight, they lost the game. It's just unacceptable. And nothing to take away from the Marlins, but Jesus Christ. I mean, they're that good. Oh, and here's the sticker. Here's the sticker shock. The dude that they traded to the Marlins last year is the dude that got the walk-off against them. Augustin Ramirez. He was once a Yankee catcher. He's the one that got the dribble in front of the mound to walk it off. Talk about like sticking up the Yankees' rear ends. Like, thanks for trading me. Now I just beat you. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So, listen, I don't have much more to say except I expect better today. A little bit, perhaps. This team, it's almost like the failure is it's catching. It's repeatable. Baseball, the media has complained time and time again about the fundamentals that the Yankees lack, and time and time again the fundamentals fail the Yankees. That ball should have been fielded by Caballero in the outfield, bad defensive player, and it should have been a single. Instead, it rolls all the way to the wall, and boom. Now, here's where I said they should have substituted Volpe once Caballero got the steal and then scored. Caballero could have played short, right? Because Volpe did make an error. Nobody's really talking about this because he was like 4 for 5 or 4 for 4 or something like that last night. With a home run, a double, and some hits. So they're not really blaming, but he did misfield the ball late in the game. That should have been an out. So once again, you can use what you just acquired defensively in late games if Volpe's still kind of shaky at defense, and you could just put Slater in the outfield. Could have moved Bellinger to left, reposition Dominguez to center. He's a natural born center fielder, whatever. I don't know. You got players now. You have options now. What is Boone doing? So with that said, they need to bounce back today, right? We'll see how they stack up. It is the Marlins. Nothing against the Marlins, but dude, it's the Marlins. I guess they're these guys I never heard of. They're young rookie prospects and they're kicking ass and taking names. I don't know. I mean, this team was about to sell at the deadline and you can't beat them. And you scored, dude. They had like 15 hits or 14 hits or something crazy like that, and it wasn't enough. I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm exhausted from that rant. I'm exhausted. This team fucking exhausts me. For the love of God, play better today. Have a little bit of pride. Get your shit together. I don't know. Anyway, guys, just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. I still think they had a good deadline. I'm not going to just blame these players that came on board and shit the bed today. Not going to do that. But things have to change. Things have to change. They need to work on fundamentals. He's got options now. They didn't have to use the entire new guys that they have, and they just got here. 1 or 2 of them, and then stop and go to your original guys. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Seriously. What else do we have to give you for you to fail? It's almost like you want to lose. It's almost like you plan, let me see how I can make them lose because they're doing too well. What's going on with this guy? Anyway, I'm Errol. Peace out. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see how the Yankees do today. All right? Have a good night, guys. Appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the channel. Really do appreciate it. Once again, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Can't do without you. Have a great day. Enjoy the game. Go Yankees. Peace.